I saw the cat collar that was on the side just go flying across the room. Her budgies just started going absolutely mental, squawking, hitting against the cage. They were just flying everywhere. It was very, very strange. It was very weird. You know when you get that feeling on your skin sort of thing, and it's like the air was different. I can't even describe the feeling. I felt like I was dreaming, and obviously, as you do, you sort of close your eyes again, and then I was backed against the wall at this point. Like, absolutely not. And yeah, he just sort of kind of walked towards me and then disappeared.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Spooky Island Encounters. Like you might have seen from the intro, today's story comes from my friend Shauna, who I met when I first moved down to London back in 2020. Now, after we started working together, we realised we had a lot of similar interests, including all things spooky and macabre. However, it wasn't until I started podcasting a few years ago when she told me of an absolutely terrifying experience she had with an entity that she named the Smiling Man. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. To understand how the Smiling Man came to be, we have to travel back to when Shauna was a teenager growing up in northwest London.
So yeah, I was about 13, so we're around 2006. I'm from West London, so there's not many things for us to do. We would get up to all mischief, riding the bus back and forth, especially going to Hammersmith for some reason, and yeah, sort of like playing knock down ginger. And then so I was staying around my mate Lucy's house that night, Saturday obviously, and we was just chilling, watching good old MTV Cribs. Her mum came home, and for some reason, don't know why, she told us till this day, she found her old Ouija board. So us being us, we went looking for it. Her mum happened to go back out again. It was ladies' night around her house, around her mate's house, should I say. And so we went looking. We looked everywhere around the house and in the shed, anywhere and everywhere. And then we went looking into her mum's wardrobe, and there it was. So we quickly ran downstairs, turned off all the lights, locked all doors, everything like that, just in case someone happened to come back home, like one of her siblings or something. Because we knew we weren't meant to be doing this, so we didn't want to get caught.
Now, after having found the spirit board and knowing that they shouldn't really be playing with it, they got it set up quickly. And it wasn't long before they started questioning themselves if they should be asking out into the ether.
So we got set up in the kitchen, put some candles on, and she was on one side of the kitchen table, I was on the other. So we both placed our index fingers on the planchette. Encouraged Lucy to ask questions. So what do you ask? But is anyone there? Nothing happened, first of all. We waited for a bit. So Lucy asked again, is anyone there? Still nothing, but all of a sudden, so her kitchen, I was facing the where her budgies were, and like facing more of the kitchen where she was facing me, and there was a wall behind me. So all she heard was the noise, but I saw the cat collar that was on the side just go flying across the room. Lucy hearing this and seeing my face, she whipped round and was like, what was that? The atmosphere just got really weird. You could just feel it. When you get that feeling on your skin sort of thing, and it's like the air was different. And then I see from the corner of my eye the cat's collar go flying off of the counter onto the floor. Lucy sort of like saw my face and heard the noise, whipped round, and we were just both staring at the cat collar on the floor. And then the birds, her budgies just started going absolutely mental, squawking, hitting against the cage. They were just flying everywhere. It was very, very strange. It was very weird. And we just ended up putting our fingers in our ears, trying to block out the noise. And then weirdly, it seemed like it was going on for ages. The birds just suddenly settled down. It was just dead quiet. And we was just staring at the birds, like, and then staring at each other, like, what just happened?
Now, after a fairly eventful evening of encounters and hiding away all the evidence that they were using a spirit board, the two friends decided to go to sleep. And the next day, Shauna went home and was getting herself ready for school the next day. And that night, she was really questioning her life choices and pondering the question, just what could have followed her through the spirit board?
I think it was around 1 p.m. the next day I went home, because school the next day, and just, went through my day. Sundays is cleaning. So cleaned up my rat's cage, cleaned my room, showered, uneventful. Went to bed, and then had this like weird feeling about 2:30 in the morning, like I was being watched. So as you do, you wake up, and all I remember is shooting up out of my bed because there's this like figure at the end of my bed staring at me. It was, I can't even describe the feeling. I felt like I was dreaming, and obviously, as you do, you sort of close your eyes again, and then, which I did, open them again, and he was still there, just staring at me. At this point, I'm in the middle of my room, just up. Am I allowed to swear on this? Shitting myself. Yeah, absolutely shitting myself, cacking it. I just remember him taking a couple of steps towards me. I was backed against the wall at this point, like absolutely not. He just sort of kind of walked towards me and then disappeared. And then that was it for that night. Anyway, so went back to bed. I literally just sat in bed all night, staring at the spot that he was.
After that horrific first encounter with the smiling man, Shauna goes to school the next day and she's curious to see if Lucy has had a similar experience, but sadly she doesn't get the chance to ask.
Ended up going to school next day. Seeing Lucy, she would not listen to me. She didn't want to know anything about what happened. Didn't particularly want to, 13. Who do you tell? Who's going to believe you? I definitely wasn't going to tell my parents, because I didn't know what they were like, if they would believe me or not. And I would have to tell them I played with a Ouija board, so that was definitely not something I was going to talk to them about. I was not wanting to go to bed the next day. I literally was refusing. I ended up falling asleep. But again, about 2:30, there he is, stood at the end of my bed. This time I was, I suppose, slightly more prepared. I don't know if you're ever prepared, but tried to speak to him as you do. And he's never spoken to me. So to this day, he's just always smiled, waved, and then disappeared.
Now, I can't actually believe that I've slept in the same room as Shauna. Like, on holiday, she failed to mention the smiling man, and I certainly didn't ever see him. But Shauna did reflect on her visits from this mysterious figure, and why she thinks he has followed her all of these years.
He doesn't come as often. Like, when it first happened, he would come every night. For a good year or so, he would come. But now, it's now and again. Even my dog Sasha, she ends up staring in the corner about 2:30. I know then. Even she knows. She's got used to it. She just sort of stares. I remember when she would bark and everything, but now it's just one of those things in my life. So I call him the smiling man because I've never got a name. I don't know who he is. I definitely think it's the Ouija board. It's too much of a coincidence for it not to be. I suppose we never actually did say goodbye either, which, how do you know those rules when you're 13? It was definitely. I suppose I'm lucky in a way that I haven't had a mean spirit come through. I do wonder why he followed me home though and didn't stay at Lucy's. Maybe just took a liking to me, I don't know. I would love to figure out who he is. But trying to put a description into Google is going to come up with various things, isn't it? So he's just the smiling man.
And finally, just before we leave Spooky Island Encounters for today, if any of you are thinking about playing with a spirit board, Shauna has some words of advice for you.
My warning to you is just make sure you close down that Ouija board, or don't play with one, whichever, especially when you're 13. yeah, definitely remember to close it down because you never know what's going to come through.
So, what do you think of Shauna's encounter with something that possibly came through the spirit board? Do you believe it's possible for spirits to come through and speak to us and attach to us? And yeah, let me know in the comments below. Have you ever played with a spirit board or Ouija board yourself? I have plenty of times and nothing's come through for me. Maybe I'm just not as open to it. But yeah, let me know down below. And next week on Spooky Island Encounters, or next episode I should say, we've got the classic haunted house ghost story coming your way.
So we got a new sofa, and that was that. And all of a sudden, that's when things kind of took a turn, paranormal wise, within the house. I screamed. We both screamed. Ran straight to the parents' room. Obviously, my dad got up, and he saw this figure of a man. And all of a sudden, so obviously all the first instincts, first thoughts is somebody broke into the home. All I do know is that this figure were very, very tall at the time, and a waistcoat. You could tell it was a man. Like you could see that it was a man.
Yeah.
He had no facial features. That's where we are with that story.
Yeah.
They moved into this home, and this is the weird part about it. It's almost as if this figure was trying to warn us.
Okay.
It was trying to kick us out of the home.